Welcome back to Do Not Rescue. This is going to be the first video in our unit covering the survival pack. Now, first of all, what even is a survival pack? It's known by a lot of different names. Some people call it an emergency kit, some people call it a panic bag. Whatever you choose to call it, it's basically some sort of package that contains all the supplies that you are going to need in case of an emergency. Now, I know when I say emergency, that's kind of a broad term. Some people have an emergency pack or survival pack that's dedicated more towards a wilderness scenario. Some people have a survival pack that's more dedicated towards a shelter-in-place scenario. For the sake of everyone watching, this unit is kind of designed around a survival pack that's designed for both wilderness and shelter-in-place scenarios. In my opinion, the survival pack is the #1 most important tool for survival. So now let's talk about what goes into the survival pack. A lot of this is up to personal preference, but for this unit, I'm going to show you what I recommend to have. I'm going to show you some B-roll. Go ahead, editing me, do your thing. You should be looking at B-roll right now of everything that's in my survival pack. I know it looks like a lot, and it is, so we're going to separate it into different categories. The categories that I separate my supplies into are the following: brain essentials, food and water, shelter and sleep, layers and hygiene, and miscellaneous. All of these categories and the items in these categories will all have a lesson dedicated to them. So now let's talk about what container to use. Again, just like with what you put into the survival pack, a lot of this is up to personal preference. I recommend either a hiking backpack or a duffel bag or suitcase or something like that. For example, my container that I use is a hiking backpack. The model is the Alps Mountaineering Caldera 90. I'll put a link to it in the description if you're interested in checking it out. Alright, the last thing that I want to mention for this introduction is what we call the ABCs of packing. This is going to be very important when you're thinking about what to put in your survival pack and once you actually start to build it. So the ABCs of packing are accessibility, balance, and compression. These are 3 main things that you should be thinking about while you're building your pack. So for accessibility, you should be thinking about, do I have access to things that I'm going to need? For balance, it's pretty self-explanatory. Is your pack balanced? And C, for compression. Again, fairly self-explanatory. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.